Hello everyone. I'm just tuning into the frequency, the energy of this oracle card reading that we are about to begin together. I tuned in this morning to what would be needed today for the collective. And I got levity, which does resonate with me because humor, the lightness of life has always been a big part of me. Even before I had a spiritual awakening. And I feel it can be a real tonic for us. So I have two decks here with us today. I have the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, and I have the Lemurian Star Child Oracle by Leanne Carpenter and Michael Kroon. These are also really fun decks if you guys are exploring any oracle card stuff. The Rose Oracle and Lemurian Star Child Oracle. So, I'm already getting to pull our first card to see where this message is going to steer us today. I got this one in reverse, but I'm going to flip it like this for us to look at the art. This is a card actually that came up in yesterday's oracle reading as well, more towards the end, in case you guys missed that one. Arise comes up when we're deepening into this truth that everything we experience in this life that is of love and of fun and of levity and of magic and those spiritual, blissful, mystical moments that we can't describe afterwards, that is arising from us. So it feels that we're kicking off this message with this one today because we're just going to have that be our foundation of the reading today. Realizing that everything we experience in the way of magic and love are the two words I can come up with right now, but I'm sure you can feel the energy. We're remembering that's us. That's experiencing us. Okay. Another one in reverse, the Nurture card. Okay, so if that everything in life that is for you and magical, hello, that improved. If you don't feel that's coming from you, if you feel somehow that that's just something you receive from the outside, well, the tonic to that, the balancer to that, is through nurturing. Nurturing yourself. And I'm getting this image again of that sometimes this care practice that we're embarking into and upon, sometimes that will involve us healing our inner child, and sometimes that will involve our inner child healing us. So tune in to what it might be more for you right now. When you tune into the inner child and your inner magic, are you feeling more that you need to give your inner child that love and healing? Or are you feeling that now is the time that you're going to receive that from your inner child? And just notice what the answer is when you do that. Okay. Dolphin baby. I'm just going to read the words on the card. This is a number 2, and it's Lemurian origin, flow, timeless, adaptable, free. Take your time. So take this if it resonates and leave it if it does not. But some of you are here right now because you're being reminded that you don't have to rush your processes and that you don't have to I'm getting force your play. So I'm seeing that some of you might be aware that you need to incorporate more lightness in your life, more play, more fun. But there's this, I'm seeing it as a layer, a program over your third eye that is still somewhat living from the hustle culture programming is what I'll call it. So the grunt, the force, the see results. You know, I spent 13 years in the corporate world, in the supply chain industry for lighting, and that was like everything. It was just like force, use fear. I did lots of negotiating too, and that was all about, you know, the poker face, the game face, and it can get real fast, you know. But when we leave that realm, we'll say, the realm of hustle culture, the realm of perfectionism 24/7, you're going to notice some of that that shaping that came into your life still kind of lingering. So, yeah, and this is, again, I know, Live Proof, you said this might be for you, and it might be for others as well. I definitely resonate with this spirit message myself. So take your time. And I'm also seeing that the only little nudge from spirit, from your own soul, from your own higher self-consciousness that you need right now is to pay attention to your speed. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to your pace with everything. Where are you rushing? Where are you? So I'm just getting the spirit message that to pay attention to the areas that you're just trying to get through. So, might even be your work day. And I'm actually flashing back to a coworker I had in the past that told me something her mother told her over and over again, which is, if you're always trying to skip your Monday through Friday and you're just trying to fast forward it, you're going to live a fragment of your life, basically, because you're going to be living for, you're going to be basically in a, I can't recall the wording that she used. She did a lot better, Dolores, from my past. If you ever see this somehow, thank you for planting this seed for me, because that's what I was doing, and I didn't realize it was just kind of rushing through the Monday through Friday thing, and then finally it was the weekend and I could be me, you know, or be alive, so to speak. So if you're doing that, you know, it's not about, we're not about, this isn't about guilting that or feeling bad about it. It's just notice, because now you can do something to shift it. And then the practical piece here is that in your starting to slow down and take things a little bit more at a graceful, I will say, or pace, things will get a little bit clearer for you. The clarity will be easier to find, because when we're in the turn off, rush through mode, hustle culture mode, we're not aware. So we're not very conscious. We're not paying attention to the signs that are all around us, guiding us, you know, this way or that way, or say this thing to this person because you need to. It's your truth. Yeah, so this is this, I'm just going to bring this little channeled message through because it's for someone here. Okay. Bear with me. I'm just loading it. Someone needs to speak their truth to someone in their life here. There's something you need to say to someone very close to you that you've been bottling up. So it's time to do that. And is there more on that message? Because it feels like that one's kind of unwinding. Is that resonating with someone here, or is this possibly a future person? Maybe a future person. A future person. That's fun. Let's just see what we can get from this. Breathing. Yeah, this is the tool. This is the tool coming in along with the nurturing. Cool, Tamara. Yeah. So, the breath. You've heard this before. You've heard this before. Always return to your breath. That's where you're going to return to spirit. And let's just do that right now. Take a deep breath in through your nose. As deep as you can go, as deep as you can go. Hold it. Let it go. Maybe you're out in public right now and there's people looking at you doing your breath work on a bench at the park, or you're, you know, someone asked me on one of mine for fire breath. Some of you that are familiar, if your ego is really getting the best of you. Put the hands up in the air, you can't see the other one. You can do that gentle hand gesture, and you're gonna pump this breath from your belly button. It feels that this tool is being planted for all of you right now because utilizing the breath is what takes us out of story. So, as humans, we're going to experience trauma. That's a part of it here. And as a human, we're going to experience the fear, the anger, the sadness, the grief, I would say those are the main ones that we're going to feel very viscerally. And the way that I feel about our emotional body, it's truly a full blueprint, archetype, layering body within you. Your emotional body. The same is true of your mental body, your physical body, your light body, your astral body, your energetic body. These are all layers working together and speaking to one another. And when we stop feeling our feelings, or we start resisting our feelings, then the body has to respond. Because if we're not receiving those soulful messages from our emotional body, then our soul, our higher self, is going to try to reach us another way. So it feels that breathing and nurturing are coming into this mix now, because we're waking up to this concept on planet Earth that health is wealth, that our holistic presence, our holistic health is it's gold. It is our gold, and you can easily get there from a place of maybe a dysregulated nervous system to a regulated nervous system through tools such as the breath and movement and meditation every day. Or you know what, if you don't want to call it meditation because you've got some ick about meditation, totally cool. Maybe you just spend 5 minutes a day with your eyes closed. Don't call it anything more than that, just do that. The nervous system is a lot. It's a lot to do with how we're going to show up in this life, in this world. And, you know, you can call it fortunately or unfortunately that there's a lot that is normalized on planet Earth that's very disruptive to that nervous system. You know, if you know, you know, and, you know, it can be in the food, it can be in the programming, the media. But it's not about fearing those things in the food or in the media. It's just about epilepsy. Well, I am definitely not a doctor. I know individuals with epilepsy, and I've seen it energetically. And what I can say to that is, you know, first and foremost, always make sure that you're checking with your doctor, your primary care physician. I don't just say that for protection. I just say that because you're going to need to know what's going on within your body, within your blood. Antiprotons. I'm not speaking to this to you from me as Bree. I'm speaking to this to you from Spirit. You know, from our innermost truth. Because the truth of the matter is, we come into this world with everything we need in our body. Our body is harmonious, unified, and we can always return to that. So, okay, I want to talk to the aura. It doesn't matter what condition or anything is going on, or what you've been told about what you are, what you have, what you are experiencing. You always have the ability to close your eyes, go deep in your heart. Make sure you go into the heart. You got to drop from here. If you're in here, you're going to be story. Got to drop down to the heart. And then breathe there for a second, a moment. You can all see your own aura. You can visualize it, you can feel it. You can move your hands through it. You can comb your body with your hands. Hey, antiprotons, I wish you the most blessings, and I'd ask you to stop participating in the comments now. Thank you. I'm here to serve everyone. I need to make sure that I'm always taking into account the collective, the whole. And I do see the people that show up and they just want to start a fight and get a rise. But it doesn't mean I can give all my energy to those people. Let's get another message. I'm just going to stop looking at the comments for a bit, everyone. Okay. I'm not excluding anyone. I just don't want anyone here to disrupt the process and flow of healing energy. So, star children, when we get really rowdy, and convinced of the story that someone's doing something wrong to us, or like we're being picked out, we're being picked on, we need to first ask where our inner child is at in that equation. So it's really important that instead of, if we notice, oh, we're getting, we're trying to be disruptive, or we're trying to get attention, or we're trying to get even seen or heard in some way, but it's coming from an energy of distortion at the coremost place of omittance, that's when we need to check in with that inner child. We need to. Because, all right, so this is what Spirit is showing me, and I'll just bring it through just because it feels important. So when we do that, when we can, and I'm going to have my eyes closed for a bit to bring this message in. Okay. When we can have that pattern interrupt moment, that moment of realizing and recognizing my behavior is no longer in alignment with my soul. I am acting from a place of wound. It's very difficult to do. I mean, they call this seeing red for a reason. If you're in that state, it is time to go in first. Because what I'm seeing now with the auras, and this is something I see often, is these two auric fields, okay, let's say, they should be sourcing from within, right? But they get this perception that they're going to get what they need from the other. So they try to get what they need from the other, and the other one's like, oh, no, I'm not going to. And then the auras start to interplay, I will call it. So the way that I see it is, and by see it I mean just through my clairvoyance, it's more of a knowing understanding. But someone's belief system, if it doesn't match the other person's belief system, and let's just say like one of those beliefs is so firm and is creating all of the character in the individual and all that stuff, and then the other person is, let's say, holds the exact and opposite belief very dearly and truly within themselves, yeah, that's when boop, 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 and I see the auras get to holes. So what I can see typically with auras is that occasionally there will be a hole in it, meaning it's not doing its whole. So I want you to bring your attention to the torus field. So the torus field is going in it's like a donut shape around you. You've got chakras, energies coming from below, energies coming from above. These chakras are highly intuitive, highly intelligent. They can be tuned into, tapped into, rebalanced at any time in anyone's life, no matter if you've spent thousands of lifetimes as a monk or if you have never meditated in your existence as a soul. It doesn't matter. You can still do it. So what I'm seeing is when you can sense that there's holes in your aura, it's really time to evaluate that belief system, because you got to figure out who you're giving your power away to. You know, did you acquire a belief system from someone close to you and it does not resonate at all, but now you're just living from it, kind of thing? Getting another clarity here. Is that upside down? Yeah. Heaven on earth. Is it upside down or is it not? You know, who knows? It could be both at the same time in a quantum universe. Yeah. Okay, so how do we achieve heaven on earth? Well, we gotta consider how we're gonna nurture ourselves. We gotta consider our self-talk. What are we saying about ourselves? Okay, so at the core of our healing, at the core of embodying our highest self, our soul, feels that we're healing the deepest wound we have in this session, which is the illusion of separation. We get this illusion that we're separate from God and Source, from the divine. Many words we can use here. We're going to use divine in this session. So if we feel we're separate from divine, we feel that divinity is outside of us and that we have to seek it. instead of realizing divinity's our innate truth. So the key really to heaven on earth is, what is heaven on earth for you? Embody that. Because if you're only embodying, or if you're trying to embody, or if you're seeking another's version of heaven on earth, you're going to fall short every time. Divine Feminine. I'm just going to clear our cards here. Woo. Yeah. So, Divine Feminine is, I've brought this, or the Council of Light has brought this through me in many different facets and ways. But Divine Feminine is very much, okay, so some of you are familiar with the earth and it's shifting through dimensional frequency, and us moving into a more feminine-led period on earth. This doesn't mean feminine as women. This means feminine as the feminine energy, the divine feminine energy, the divine masculine energy. These are meant to be unified. And the way that I see it, you know, and past my initial frustration about the masculine being manipulative towards the feminine, once I got past that, I realized that it's more of a natural flow. And natural, there are periods of feminine-led, periods of masculine-led, and it's not to say that either one is better or worse, but when we're leading from feminine, when we're allowing our beingness, yes, when we're allowing our beingness to be our predominant guider. How can I say that? When you check in with your beingness before your doingness, is what I'll say. That's the shift to feminine led. So just to really bring it on the ground, bring it onto earth. Because I'll be truthful, yes, I'm a human. But I also have very, very clear and visceral, and I remember a lot of my incarnations. I didn't necessarily always. But yeah, so when someone kind of comes to me and they think that I, you know, they have perceptions of me, let's say, or they believe that what I believe isn't true, it doesn't bother me anymore. Just because I'm so firm in my beliefs that I don't have room for question in those areas about myself. Now, when it comes to anyone else, I'm always just open and curious because I am not you. Yes, in spirit we are one, but you have your unique way of being and presenting in the world. So when you tune into what you're going to shift about how you show up in your life, what subtle shifts do you feel you can bring into your existence? Maybe you're scanning out and you're just watching yourself from above go through a day, let's say, your typical day. What are you doing differently? Where do you see right now in this moment areas where you can soften a little bit? You can be gentler with yourself. You can move a little slower. You can go at your own pace. And start to scan your day and highlight those areas and maybe habits that are ready for some softening, some shifting. Okay, we're getting brought to the Rose Oracle now. Hi, Melissa. Okay. I'm going to look at it first. The second bloom, a second chance, it's never too late, new possibilities. So what I'm being brought to now is to remember that blooms are never forced. You don't see a flower being forced open. You don't see a tree being, this is a funny image I'm getting. You don't see a tree being like shoved from underneath the earth into the atmosphere. Like, you just don't. When it comes to how we bloom as humans and as souls here on this planet, it comes through allowance, which is so frustrating for us in the mind. Because if we're coming out of some of that, I'll call it toxic masculinity, or just the version of your doingness that was from an avoidance of fear, as those are shifting, there's gonna, I'm just like being shown this little period of time where it's just gonna be uncomfortable because you're very used to that force and almost factual way of life is what I'll call it. Where you can see the proof in the pudding, and faith and spirit and divinity. It's the knowing before you're seeing the proof. It's the feeling into the truth and the essence of it before you can see it manifest in your tangible reality. And to land this, I've been running my business for going on 3 years now. The first 2 years didn't make any money. And I left a career that was making a lot of money. And so I was doing this, my purpose, my soul work, my soul mission, not making any money, and I still kept doing it because it's not about the money. But still, there was that period of time for me that my mind was going, what are you doing? There's no money. Get that corporate job you're being offered. And the job offers were pouring in, but I knew innately, nope. Stay. You're living your purpose now. But in the 3D reality, you're going to have people that go, it's not manifest yet. What are you doing? And those are the times that you really are deepening into and strengthening your faith in yourself, in your soul, to provide you everything you need every step of the way. We're getting this one in reverse, the crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. So I want you all to take your energy right now within your heart, the soft petals of your heart, the part of you that is the beingness, not the doingness. And now just invite yourself to see where you're being initiated. Because you're being initiated. And you'll keep getting initiated until you allow it to initiate. But the reason you might be resisting it or holding yourself back from it or keeping yourself small instead of expanding into it is because of programmed beliefs you have about what that's going to mean. And likely, from what I'm seeing, fears. Some of these fears are going to be fears that you build evidence around in this life and experiences around. for being here. And we're bringing these things to the surface, to the conscious mind right now, just so that you can notice. It might not be clear to you in this moment, but a future moment may come up when everything arises from you. It is a collective reading, Mary. Yeah. All are welcome. Okay. So anything more, Spirit, on this card here? No? Okay. You might hear me saying, okay, having some internal dialogue. Welcome to Soul Healing with Bree. Okay. So, for those of you that are here, before I pull the next card, when it comes to your healing journey, what are you focused on right now? Is there any area you're focused on? Maybe it is that nervous system. Maybe it is the programming. Maybe it is opening your channel of light. Again, more. Or noticing that it's open. Okay, 7. Getting our next card. You all can feel free to participate. I don't even know how many people are here. Does anyone know? Is it 5 right now? Is that how I know? Is that like the right part? I should probably do a tutorial or something. Okay, 7. So 4, rise of true, gentle power, truth, strength, divine masculinity. What balance we have today. Highly loving. What balance? Okay, I'm feeling the balance that wants to be brought through. Okay, so as we're just tuning into this shift in the planet, this feminine Christed light being planet that we're part of here, as we're switching now as humans to feminine led, we're also healing the divine masculine. We're also up-leveling and upgrading the divine masculine. Some of you may resonate with this. Take it if it does. Leave it if it doesn't. But if you've spent any time in your life where you were resisting, refusing, turning down, suppressing maybe your feminine energy, once that gets returned to the wholeness and it's more healed, then the divine masculine has a chance to also upgrade. And I also see that the divine feminine and the divine masculine are truly meant to be healing each other too. They're a pair. They work together. And when we look out in the world and we see this, I'm sure you see it, these manipulative energies, these distorted energies, these suppressive energies on women, we need to understand that we're not serving ourselves by villainizing anything. So that seems to be prevalent right now. So I definitely did do some of this. I'm still kind of healing some of this, but the manipulative forces that I referred to in the media and things like that want to kind of pit men and women against each other, or different political beliefs against each other, when that is happening, it's taking your power away, because that's all a part of you. So when we start to, maybe villainize men, or we see men as the causer of harm to the feminine, let's say, we're actually hurting ourselves, because we have masculine energy too as women, or as however you are in this expression of you. So it just feels that we need this reminder and awakening to that our way of embodying our soul and expressing our divinity here on this planet is by bringing our own unification, our own divine masculine, divine feminine energy healed and made whole within us. And it's only from there that we can then extend that assistance, that healing, that upliftment, that comfort, that compassion to another. Okay, and I'm seeing what time it is here, because I probably have to go. So. Spirit guides, can you show me what time it is? Okay, so I have 5 more minutes. 4? Okay, perfect. Cosmic heart source. So we've talked about this. I always talk about this. I'm going to be that annoying person in your life that always talks about this. But it's all about that heart. You got to get used to dropping into the heart, opening the heart, expanding the heart, hearing the heart, feeling the heart. Because when we're dealing with the programming, the limiting beliefs, all that crud and crap that we build up in the mind and in the ego, what we don't want to see happen, what we don't want to allow to happen is those fears moving down into the energetics of our heart, telling our heart, don't open, telling our heart, don't be vulnerable, telling our heart, don't feel. That's when we really have to make that healing pathway from our heart. Because if fearful programming is what's leading us to start not speaking our truth, not hearing what we need to hear, not feeling what we need to feel, not being who we need to be, not connecting the way we need to connect, not grounding the way we need to ground, that's when the heart is the tonic that's going to open up the whole system again. Reopen it. So the Cosmic Heart Source card, and it's going to put it a little bit closer for you. So I've got I think I have the Seed of Life back there, the Flower of Life here. We're being reminded that I do too. I feel that we won't be divided much longer as well, because we're aware now, at least more aware. More conscious. So there are no straight lines in nature. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Terrence Howard's work, but not only are we shifting from masculine dominant to feminine dominant, and that's not even the right word I want to use, but the human language. We're also shifting our entire way of existence from a linear to what really is true, which is it's curved, it's circles, it's as long as we're conceptualizing our life as step by step in a straight line, A to B to C, you know, as long as we're doing that and we're allowing our mind to live in those checklists and what I will call measuring sticks for ourselves to decide, am I successful? Am I doing everything I need to do stuff? Yeah, that's the linear mindset and the masculine, the hustle culture that we talked about. That we're really transforming and we're alchemizing and transmuting to bring it back into what nature is. You know, the organic way of being, the heart-to-heart connections, the soul-to-soul connections. Yeah. I am currently married. Michelle the Alchemist. Hello. So yeah, it feels that Spirit wants us to talk about alchemy for just a moment. So as all of these things arise, as we realize where we have, let's say, a wounded inner child coming back up, or a wounded inner teenager that's coming back up. Oh, cool. I haven't talked to Alice in a while. I hope she's doing well. We're just being welcomed to this concept that even our pain and our trauma and our struggles and our challenges in life all have the potential to be alchemized. So instead of resisting our pains and our frictions and our limiting beliefs, instead of thinking it's like a battle, the true healing understanding is realizing that everything we're doing in healing is bringing everything back together, back into the wholeness. Because even though we feel fragmented, and there's moments in time where we did fragment a bit of our energy, we always have the ability to call that back. So it's really creating a healing pathway between you in this now moment and the you that may have fragmented a bit in those past now moments that are now coming back in, being invited back in. One of the visuals I'm getting, and I get this quite a bit, is these and I think they use this in I don't watch TV anymore, but like one of the last shows I watched, I think it was like, it's like the Queen's Gambit with the poker. I don't know. When it comes to human stuff, especially TV, I don't really know how to talk about it. But the image I often get is that these versions of us that we've cut off or that we denied from ourselves, it's these different different versions that are kind of like sitting off in closets. Yeah, I know. And sometimes we have to invite that, let's just say, like, visualize with me, because visualization is really helpful with all of this stuff. I'm just going to reposition my seating. Okay, yeah, that's better. It's like one of my favorite positions to sit in. I don't know what it's called in yoga. Knee pose? Anyway, so this image I get is that those versions of us are kind of off in these little closets, and we're kind of going back to those closets and opening the door and, hi, come on, come back out, come on back, and And, you know, sometimes when we open those closets to those versions of us that we denied or kept small, sometimes they don't want to come out. And sometimes we have to go in there and kind of sit with them for a little bit. And we have to hold their hand and let them sit in silence and just be with them. You know, and sometimes we actually have to convince them a little bit that we love them. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes they're sitting in there in a meditation pose, looking at you with the most gentle, loving smile, and your inner child is healing you. Okay. So I'm going to pull 2 more cards. And first I'm going to actually just clear this so we can get the purity of it. The healing card, gentleness of love, realignment, transformation. So we've got the wings here. Some of you are having your wings healed as we go through this together. You might feel that if you've ever felt that sensation in your back and between your shoulder blades. Well, that means in the higher realms you are also an angel, so it feels good to meet you again. But the healing card is coming up because healing, sometimes healing is going to feel like shadow work. It's going to feel hard. Tapping on it is what I would recommend. Gentle tapping on it as much as you can reach it. You're probably going to have to move around in different positions because it is, I would say, on the body, the position where I at least feel my connection to the versions of my light body that have wings. It's really hard to reach, like with the hands. So the other thing, what did they have me? Oh, salt baths would be my recommendation there to loosen and let that go. And then the other thing, Spirit's planting, if you have pain in the back where the wings are typically present. If your physical approaches are not helping it to relieve, it may serve you to evaluate what cords are present so that you can transmute them with unconditional love. Okay, I'm going to bring a little bit of light language through on this. And the way that I'm seeing how this is going to come through, and you'll feel it in your own particular way. Actually, I'm going to need to get 3 yeses here before I bring it through because light language is potent and I don't want to do it unless you guys want it. Do you guys want light language to help our heart open, to help our heart heal, balance? Okay, we got 1 yes, 2 yeses. 3 yeses. 4 yeses, 5 yeses. It's go time. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be the last card for the day because we're going to close this out with a light language. Okay. So for those of you here that didn't say yes, that's okay. You can observe. No big deal. You can say, you can see, you know, you can observe it. And then if you want to take it in deeper, I'm going to post this on my YouTube. Okay. So, I don't want you to take in this light language if you're driving or operating machinery. If you are doing that, you can just, you know, close this out and then just watch the recording later. And, okay, what else, Spirit? Okay, so I'm getting a listing of what this light language is going to do for us. We're going to help balance our masculine and feminine energy. We're going to help let go and transmute and infuse with golden light any cords that might be causing that sensation of stuckness. If your phone is lagging, it's probably because the frequency is really high, and it's technology gets really weird with high frequency, let me tell you. I have so many problems with technology and this stuff. But it's okay. It'll be recorded. Blessed one. Don't worry. Okay. All right. So it looks like there's some newbies here since I announced this, but I'm going to be bringing through some light language, some healing tonic to help us feel levity, to help us feel unification, balance the masculine and feminine, align the chakras. What else are we going to do here? Oh, okay, so we're going to be sealing some auras. We talked about some holes in the aura earlier in this transmission. And some of those actually individuals are no longer here, so they're going to, if their higher self is present in this transmission, they can affirm to receive it as well. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so here we go. Relax your body, shake out your hands. A few deep breaths throughout the whole vessel. Setting the intention to pull through light language for the highest good of all. Archangel Michael is present in this transmission, protecting the space. Some of you are having your sacral and solar plexus released in the back. If that's you, you need to breathe, breathe, breathe into your rear, the rear of your field. So these two chakras are in your middle low back that we're releasing these from. These are not Spirit is wanting you to be aware that even though these cords are attached to other individuals, they're being healed too. No one is ever left out of these healings. These healings are available universally. Spirit is having me ask if any of you still have pain in your back. Yes, what I am. All right, Mary, I'm going to have you shake out your right hand. Quiere decir what I am. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Arcturians are going to bring through a little tonic, some technology now, for cords that are being perceived as not being able to release. Beautiful, okay. Okay, we're gonna infuse everyone here, presently and in the future, with unconditional love. Unconditional love, just going through every cell. And then I'm just going now in this quantum space, and I'm allowing your higher dimensional expressions, your spirit guides, they are they're transmitting some information into your 8th, 9th, and 10th chakra, so that yeah, they're sort of all here, and they're sort of giving me these bits of information about how they know that you can't really receive what they're sending you right now in the conscious, but they also know that you can in your sleep. So, okay, they're just loading these now. Many colors are coming up. I'm seeing anchors, like anchors on a ship, and wheels, for whoever that's resonating with. It might be some sort of symbology that your spirit guides work with, potentially. It's going to be different for each one of you now. So remember that. And allow. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we're closing down the fields. The Akashic records are all being closed. Everyone's being really returned. And shielded. And then lots of your spirit guides are all sort of doing the just waving and hugging, and you're going to feel this in your own particular way. Some of them I'm seeing actually are like holding your shoulder. Some of you might feel that. Okay. We are complete. Okay, so shields are being put in place. Yeah. Cool. Cool, Michelle. Okay. So now just allow yourself a chance to ground. Because light language does... It's going to take... This is what I'm going to... I'm going to ground us here. And then I would like... Cool. Cool, your third eye is probably going to be... bringing you some magic. So rub those hands together to really ground yourself. And then anyone that felt any kind of release in the heart chakra, it's really important that you do this, if you hopefully can in this moment, but shake them out. One thing I see when this, I'm going to do it with you, and some of you might want to go all the way up, ooh, and all the way down, and all the way up. And you're going to, yes, you're going to feel silly. I feel silly. I'm doing this live on TikTok, but we're still going to do it. The reason that we do that is because your energetic system is all these pathways and threads, and when our heart chakra is doing a big release, cool, yeah, they're always showing us super cool stuff. We just need to notice. But when we shake out our hands, it's that pathway that is like the energetic pathway that's going down your arm and is connected very deeply with your heart chakra. Any of the density or things that you let go are going to fly out your hands. Some of you, with your clairvoyance on, you're going to actually see it fly out your hands. Yeah, so your throat felt tight. Yeah, your throat probably got a really lovely healing from your spirit guides today. And for those of you that did feel shifts, changes, whether those be conscious, whether those be physical, hydration is so important. You got to drink a ton of water, as clean as you can. Thank you, Heather. Because that's going to be what facilitates your body, the physical body anyway, to cleanse out anything that you may have cleansed from your cells. So we talked about this, and it's kind of coming back in now, but we talked about that concept with those closets of us, that we're opening the closet and letting them back in. You know, that could be our way of experiencing our cells, experiencing cellular renewal and cellular detox. You know, it really is all connected and interlinked. So when we're healing, it's our consciousness, it's our body, it's our mind, it's our belief system, we have all these ways of describing it. But when you tune into something like this, where I am just surrendering to spirit to bring through light language or an oracle reading, the mind might be the part of you that's just kind of like doubting it or thinking that it's not possible. And that's okay. It's a process. It's going to take time to let go of those enforced and reinforced limiting beliefs. And you do it layer by layer. Yeah, Archangel Michael was very present today. I felt that, well, I had this little chatter in my mind before starting this. Thank you, Mary. You are all so beautiful. I'm grateful. I'm a grateful gal over here. But I had this little doubt in my mind before starting this, because I've been getting this kind of feeling that I need a moderator here. And some of you that were there in the beginning, you kind of saw why. But I kind of went to spirit and I went, but what about Archangel Michael? It's like his whole thing. And then he was present. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's the fun thing about this channeling gift. You all can channel. But sometimes when you're deep in that trance, the specifics, you'll always, when I channel these types of things, the feeling stays with me. You know, I feel that beautiful energy. But the things I actually say when I'm in a trance-like state, I don't necessarily remember them, which is really a strange navigation on planet Earth. Because someone will say something like, oh, you in that session, you said that thing, and I'm like, okay, you know, I don't remember it, but, yeah, spirit amnesia, I love that. Well, you know, I'll just ramble for like 2 seconds, hi Mimi, about this, because I think it's fun. And I come here in such a, you know, channeled like state, so you guys might as well meet me Bree, you know, like me as I am, just day to day. I already lost what I was going to say. I lost it. No, I know what it was. So, as you're opening your channeling gift and the amnesia thing, so, oh, that's it. Okay, yes. Thank you, Mimi. So I was thinking about this the other day, how, like, why don't we remember all of our past lives when we come into this life? And I asked my spirit guides this, and they kind of showed me, like, how freaking traumatizing it could be. And actually, Terrence Howard, I brought that up earlier, because he remembers everything. And he came in that way, and he remembers all of these memories, which that is like, I don't know how that's even possible. But I suppose I'm bringing this up because I've had to come into like a loving appreciation with everything, including the veils of forgetfulness, because I was kind of irritated at the veils of forgetfulness. Like, what? I am this limitless, eternal soul that's been here since the beginning of Earth, but you're going to make me go in there and, you know, not remember all of it? And that's when Spirit was like, you know, the softening comes in, because you realize that would probably be too much for us. And so the veils of forgetfulness are not to be You know, we're not judging those veils. We're not hating that they exist. We're also being totally okay and cool with letting them go, you know, which is a process. Big, big process. So before I close this out, does anybody have any questions about energy healing, the chakras, channeling, meditation? Are any questions arising for you on these topics? I'm okay with the things I forgot. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, some of my memories were hard to remember. But I brought them back in to the wholeness. Right. They're not meant for you to keep. That's really important here. So the memories, this is something that my guides say often through me, to surface and subside, surface and subside, surface and subside. So, you know, when you have the mystical experience or that deep meditation or that deep remembrance or that deep awakening or that deep whatever, you're experiencing it, allowing it, letting it go. We kind of get into issues with, how do you feel about your healing abilities? I feel wonderful. But it took me a while to really let in, or let back on, I will say. So we're not holding on to any of it. It's really about this very sovereign, neutral, observant, centered, non-attached approach to this type of thing, because what we don't want to do is you know, have that experience and then we're glued to it and we're hyper fixated on it, and you know, that's really not what we're doing. We're alchemizing. Okay, what's your most profound memory of interacting with your guides? Gosh, I interact with my guides every day and have for many years. Oh no, I can share this story. Oh, favorite church drummer, it was you that wanted the fire breath. I did it earlier. I'll post the replay. You can have it there. Okay, this is the profound experience I'll share. I think I have a few videos on this on my YouTube, if it piques your interest. Man, I've been going a while on here, huh? I should have had a clock with me. Anyone here on Central Standard Time can tell me what time it is? No? That's okay. We're in a timeless portal anyway. Cool, thank you. Okay, I'm okay. I'm alright right now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Fiona and Chelsea. I love you all. Okay, so the mystical, my most profound experience. I know, that's the thing about time, is it's not linear, which is the wildest and craziest part of all of it. Okay, so I'll bring you to the experience when I remembered my NDE. It's a pretty powerful one. I also have some videos on my YouTube on this. So I'm going to take you back on a little story here. So it's 2021, had major spiritual awakening, and I'm just going to share the story for now. So I won't be answering any questions while I share the story, because I'm going to storytell. I'm going to let myself storytell here. I'll let myself remember here, really. Okay, so in 2021, I'm just realizing I can't sustain this life. I can't keep doing this job. I felt my soul within me just so loud, guiding me, saying, it is time to make a change now. Not later, now. And so when I went to explore within myself, okay, well, what am I going to do instead of, being a manager in the corporate world? And it was, you're going to heal souls. And I was like, well, what the heck? How am I going to do that? And I was led to Mandy Morris's program, where it was called Love and Authenticity Practitioner Program. When I did it in 2021, it's now called EME, which is Energy, Mind, and Emotion Integration Coaching, which is really what we're doing here. I also recertified in that, but I went to the retreat portion of this certification where I was being certified to be a life coach in Colorado. This is also the place that I was trained in energy healing. So I'm in Colorado and I'm having a completely incredible experience. I'm with, it was about 30 of us, I want to say. But it was just this incredible vortex of energy. All of us were shifting through our consciousness. All of us were really learning to love and trust ourselves again. And I was good with that being it. But one day I woke up and I just got summoned. I don't know how else to explain it. And it was go to the vortex. I didn't even know what a vortex was. I had heard chatter on the land about these vortexes. But this particular vortex that I was taken to, no one told me it was there. So I didn't know where I was going. And it was just sort of, I'm like still feeling it now. My crown chakra was like sort of being brought on this land in Colorado to this vortex. And so I get to this vortex and I step inside, and I am not kidding, immediately everything went white, like I was with Source again. Just like my NDE experience. And in that moment, it was a quantum explosion, basically, where I was shown my NDE experience again, and then I was shown a series of quantum downloads within this vortex. And the way that I saw my spirit guides there was these sort of these oblong balls of light that emanated, and they didn't have weren't bodies, but it was telepathic communication with these guides. So I got that quantum download there in that vortex, and then I got called to the next vortex. I didn't even know there was a next vortex. Again, my crown drags me to this vortex. I sit in it. Again, I sit in it, and all of a sudden my clairvoyance is back on. And I see a group of people walking down the hill, and I'm seeing their auras again. Which, by the way, I actually turn off this gift because it's too freaky for me. I can turn it on and off at will, but walking around seeing everyone's auras, it's a little bit... Maybe I'll get to a point where I can do it again. But, so I'm in this vortex, and I'm seeing the auras again. And, yeah, it was a wild experience. So I share a little bit more in specific on my YouTube about that experience, but I want to share the part that I didn't share, which was that, so this group of, I think it was 8 of us, 8 women, they come down and they saw me have this experience, and they were all kind of asking me questions about it because they knew something was going on. And so I had a sob session first because I just had to process what I experienced. But then 2 other women started seeing auras again too. So we had this really incredible mystical experience where we had 1 or 2 of the women go up on the hill in front of the vortex, and we would sit and we would inside the vortex talk about the aura, and we were comparing the auras, and we were going oh, you see that blue on the top, and we were all just seeing the same thing. So it was just this beautiful moment of, wow, our gifts are back online. And this is real, and it was very helpful that we had each other, because there was no way for our minds to explain out of it. And ever since that experience in those vortexes, my gifts are just back on, always. And I'm thankful. And the big reason why I'm here is to help us with New Earth and the new human. Because it is a different way of being here than it's been the past few thousand years. And so we're holding this energy in this space, in this expression of being a human that is so, to the unawakened human, it's going to seem very out there. And we're not going to judge those who see us as out there. We're going to see them with love, just as we see those previous versions of ourselves that weren't ready to see it. Because, yeah, it feels that's the closing spirit message here. In our ascension, we're not comparing our ascension to others or our awakening to others. Each soul is on its own unique journey. And when we come into the soul, we allow ourselves to experience another soul to soul, without the programming. Did you all enjoy this? Do you want me to do more of these? Because I had fun and I went really long. Well, I know some of you did earlier, so that's good. I will keep these up because Spirit leads me here. Good. Good. Yeah, we're all on a unique journey, you know? We can share and have fun and exchange about what those unique journeys are, but we also honor each unique journey. Cool. You're good at it, Mimi. Okay, I love you all. This was fun, and we will do more. Thank you for joining. I have so much gratitude and appreciation for all of you. You wouldn't be here unless you were really embodying and coming into your wholeness, your soul. You're all so beautiful. Namaste.